Hey there guys, Frankomatic and Cess back once again with some more of whatever this game is that we're playing.
King's Quest 6.
Right. Last time we got murdered by creepy gnomes, if I remember correctly. Go into my inventory. So, let's not do that.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Thank you, narrator. Let's not get murdered by gnomes and instead go somewhere else. Let's go here.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
I like that the mountains only appear when you are warping there.
Yeah. It's because the map is magic, you see.
Oh. I see.
Well, this is the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, also known as...
Alexander takes the feather.
That's what it's known as?
Yes. Also known as the Cliffs of Copy Protection, because there are puzzles to make staircases to get up to the top. And we are not going to do that right now.
Alexander picks the flower and is startled by its hideously strong skunk-like odor. For a moment he can smell nothing else.
Well, that wasn't too heavy-handed of a hint now, was it?
Not at all.
But before we go back to Gnome Land...
Alexander pulls out his magic...
Shut up. He says that every goddamn time. Let's check out the Isle of
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Yeah, that's great.
Deer.
That is a deer.
A little fawn is feeding on a grassy hillock near the sea.
Well...
The fawn is too busy eating to pay attention to Alexander.
You are less interesting than grass, Alexander.
Ha.
Bunny.
A rabbit hops about rather fearlessly. It's probably never even seen a human. An old abandoned hunter's lamp is hanging on one of the trees. Alexander wonders who might have hunted in these dense woods.
Well, since animals appear not to be afraid of people at all, it seems like it would be great hunting.
A pond lies across the path. The water boils as if over some magical flame.
That seems kind of dangerous. Of course, that means I'm going to walk head first into it. Besides, it's just boiling water. If he walks across it quick enough, I'm sure it won't hurt him that much.
Alexander decides to brave the boiling pond.
Why did he melt into it?
And soon realizes a deep sympathy for soup vegetables as he learns the true meaning of being in a stew.
Soup and vegetables don't melt, though. Maybe Alexander's made of sugar.
Tickets! Oh!
I can't think of a single vegetable that melts.
Next!
In boiling water.
It looks like Alexander's in a bit of a stew.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy. So, yeah, we can't cross that yet. I wasn't really expecting the melting, to be perfectly honest. But, I guess it's time to go deal with the creepy gnomes.
Alexander pulls out. Alexander feels a strange...
Yeah. Well, before we deal with the gnomes, we can in fact do something else.
One of the oysters is sitting up in bed and doesn't look very happy. He seems to be the only one who can't sleep. In the oyster's mouth, Alexander can see a glint of white.
Why aren't you asleep like the other oysters?
Oh, I'm so weary, but I can't sleep. I have a terrible ache in my mouth.
Well, that's kind of sad, isn't it? We have a very boring book. Maybe that will help it fall asleep.
If you're having trouble sleeping, perhaps you'd like me to read to you.
Hey, that would be great.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese,
This fucking
put
book.
over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 1/8 bottles of wild beast lard.
Alexander sees nothing of interest.
Too slow.
Yields a gilded minnow of precise measurements, 2,069 centidrills by 3,023 6/7 puns, not punts, as might be expected. This is not to say, however, in any sense whatsoever, that deviations in mean temperature of 5 or 6 dregs or so.
Alexander makes a grab for the pearl.
Thank God this book is making my head hurt.
Hey! You fixed my mouth! It feels great!
The little oyster drifts into peaceful slumber with the rest of his oyster friends.
And now we never have to deal with that book again.
A string of letters floats in the water. The letters spell out, "Where are you going?" Alexander's heard of alphabet soup, but this is ridiculous.
I kind of want the string of letters, but it's a little too far out there for us to grab without,
Drowning.
No, let's just wait around a little bit. It should come closer. Assuming there are tides in this place. Oh, look at that. I think now we can get it.
Alexander wades into the sea to get the strange object in the water. The ocean currents tug at Alexander's legs. That object is just a bit out of reach.
Nope, not yet.
Even though it's right in front of his face.
Just gotta wait a little longer for it to get closer. I could have sworn that was close enough. Come on, letters. We don't have all day. There we go.
Alexander picks up the object floating in the water. It appears to be a string of letters. They say, "Where are you going?" Alexander decides to keep the odd sentence, even though it is incomplete.
Isn't that a complete
I
sentence?
think it's a complete sentence.
Well, whatever.
I mean,
Well, first off,
Alexander pulls out.
I want my ring back. And a pearl should be worth about the same as this shitty ring, right?
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
It's a big pearl.
is pearl worth as much as gold?
Well, maybe.
Maybe if it's a flawless pearl.
Well, we look at it and see if it's a flawless pearl. I'm sure the game would tell us if it's a flawless pearl.
The flawless pearl is the largest Alexander's ever seen.
It's a huge flawless pearl. I think it's okay.
I'm kind of impressed that it actually says huge flawless pearl. Or rather, flawless pearl. Whereas you were
Hey,
the one
Birdie.
who said
Bye,
huge
Birdie.
flawless pearl. Sing, sing.
Hey, you're giving away spoilers, man.
I am.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Hey, buddy. Here, take this pearl. I don't want it.
I found this large pearl. Might it be valuable enough to ransom back my family ring?
I have never seen such a perfect pearl. Certainly you can have your ring back.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't sell it. I'm a bit attached to it, I'm afraid.
That's why I gave it away.
Of course you are. You would be cold-hearted if you felt any differently. I am happy to see a family heirloom back with its rightful owner.
I've never seen somebody whistle with their mouth wide open like that before.
No, I can't do it.
Well, anyways, as the clown man mentioned, Casima's bird did happen to just wander off, and here is the only nightingale we've seen. So, in a perfectly logical leap of judgment, let's give it our ring.
Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the nightingale that Jallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Casima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cosima to his presence on the Isles.
Also, note the snake that has appeared.
The nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring.
The snake with odd yellow eyes.
She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima.
Sing Sing, what have you got in your mouth, my pretty?